Today in class we talked about developing probability models. Hopefully you've had a chance to complete page 14 and now you can correct it with this option. A bubblegum machine contains 25 gumballs. There are 12 green, 6 purple, 2 orange, and 5 yellow gumballs. Find each theoretical probability and use probability notation. So looking at each color, probability of green. So starting with PG equals, there are 12 green out of 25 total gumballs. For purple, probability of purple, 6 out of 25. Probability of orange is 2 out of 25. And probability of yellow is 5 out of 25. Find the sum of all of those probabilities. When we add up all those probabilities, 12 25ths plus 6 25ths plus 2 25ths plus 5 25ths, we get a total of 25 25ths, which is equal to 1 whole. Now we're going to write the probabilities as a percentage. The percent of green, 12 out of 25, I might think about this as a proportion. 12 out of 25 equals what out of 100? 25 times 4 is 100. 12 times 4 is 48. So the green probability is 48%. Purple's probability, well, 25 times 4 is 100. 6 times 4 is 24%. Probability of orange, 25 times 4 is 100. 2 times 4 is 8%. And we lastly have 5 out of 25. Again, 25 times 4 is 100. 5 times 4 would be 20%. So now what is the sum of all those probabilities as a percent? If we add up 48, 24, 8, and 20, we get 100%. Which should make sense considering this is all of our sample space. These are all the possible outcomes we could get. A bag contains 2 white blocks, 1 red block, and 3 purple blocks. You choose 1 block from the bag. Find each probability. The probability of getting white. There are 2 white blocks, so 2 out of the number total. So 2 plus 1 plus 3, that's 6 blocks. The probability of getting red, PR, is 1 red block out of 6 total blocks. And the probability of getting purple. Probability of purple would be 3 purple blocks out of 6 blocks total. You can also simplify some of those fractions like you might have noticed. I can simplify 3/6 to 1/2. I can also simplify 2/6 to 1/3. What's the probability of not choosing a white block? Well, if I don't choose a white block, that means I'm choosing a red or a purple. And when I look at the red probability and the purple probability, I add them together. So 1/6 plus 3/6, I get a total of 4/6. So if I don't want to choose a white, my chances are 4/6. So P not white equals 4/6, which I can also simplify to 2/3. Suppose the number of blocks of each color is doubled. What happens to the probability of choosing each color? We explored a problem like this in class today. If I take the number of blocks and I double every single number in there, then am I changing the probability? Well, before I had 2 out of 6 that were white. If I double everything, I have then 4 white and I have 12 total blocks. Are those equivalent? Well, 2/6 can reduce to 1/3 and 4/12 can also reduce to 1/3. So I still have equal chances of selecting every value compared to the original chances that I had. So I'll still have half a chance of getting purple, for example. I'll have 1/6 of a chance of getting red, for example, even though the numbers of blocks are different. Now let's look at part D. A bag contains 2 white blocks, 1 red block, and 3 purple blocks, so the same bag as before. But now we're going to add 2 more blocks of each color to the original bag. So if you think about what's happening here, I had 2 white out of 6, and I'm going to add 2 more of each color. There's 3 colors, so that means I'm going to be adding 6 total blocks. So when I add 2 whites, I'm now going to get 4 out of, and I added 6 total blocks, so 4 out of 12. Well, 2/6 was originally equal to 1/3. 4/12. Does that equal 1/3? Yep. Let's look at a different color though. For example, we had 3 out of 6 blocks that were purple. Again, if we add the 6 additional blocks, 2 of each color, we're going to have 12. And then if I add 2 more purples, I'm going to have 5 out of 12. Well, 3 out of 6 is equal to 1/2. What about 5 out of 12? Not equal to 1/2. So let's check one more. Let's check the white blocks, or the red blocks. So red was previously 1 out of 6. Now we added 2 more reds, so we have 3. But again, we actually increased by 6 blocks to 12. So is 1/6 equivalent to 3/12? Well, 3/12 is the same as 1/4. These guys are not equivalent. So now the chances of getting the colors have changed from the original. Because again, you'll notice when we doubled everything, we were still preserving that same relationship. But when we just added 2 of each color, that slightly changed the relationship. How many blocks of which colors should you add to the original bag to make the probability of choosing a red block equal to 1/2? Well, currently the red block chances are 1 in 6. Right, so P red is 1 in 6, and we want to turn P red into 1 in 2. So you had a problem like this in class today as well, and we talked about how you can add another red block, for example, and then you'd have 2 red blocks, but you'd have 7 blocks total. So we kind of have to keep adding red blocks. Let's add another one, which would mean another total block added to the bag. Another one, which would be another added to the bag. Kind of keep adding one more block at a time, which also increases the total number of blocks one at a time until we get to something that's equivalent to 1/2. Next, we're going to get 5 out of 10. And you might recognize that 5 out of 10 is equal to 1/2. So how many blocks do I actually have to add? Well, I need to go from 1 red to 5 red. So I'm going to be adding 4 red blocks. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.